their homes in the coming months, potentially by the millions. Like Rose Cerna, a single mother of an 8-year-old and a child care provider who lives in a 1-bedroom apartment in Los Angeles for $900 a month. Unemployed, she hasn't been able to pay rent since March.
If nothing's done, if it's left the way it is right now, then I will be most certainly facing possibly eviction.
With 30 million Americans out of work, the number of households now already behind on paying rent or mortgages is startling. 27% missed payments last month.
Renters in this current economy are more vulnerable than homeowners, largely because the unemployment situation is heavily weighted against lower wage earners.
The areas with 30% or more non-payment in July, New York, and several states across the South. It's a crisis lawmakers were able to postpone early in the pandemic. The Emergency CARES Act they passed included a moratorium on evictions for missed rent and relief from penalties for missed mortgage payments. But that program ended 2 weeks ago, and talks of a follow-up relief package have broken down between the White House and Democrats in Congress. President Trump last week signed an executive order he said offered new protections, but it falls short of an actual new eviction moratorium.
While the most vulnerable hope that Congress will pass new relief, some states do have local protections in place, but they are piecemeal and leave millions of Americans exposed in the meantime. Tom?
In the open spaces of the National Memorial Arboretum in Staffordshire, a carefully choreographed commemoration attended by 40 veterans who served in the 14th, sometimes forgotten army. Many thousands lost their lives in the jungles of Southeast Asia and in Japanese prisoner of war camps.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
After the sounding of the last post by a Royal Marine bugler, a 2-minute silence was led by the Prince of Wales. And in remembrance of lives lost from so many nations, from British, pre-partition Indian and other Allied armies, wreaths were placed at memorials here and in many of the nations which were involved in the conflict.
Today, in this hallowed place, and in the presence of all those gathered here or in their homes, wherever they may be, let us affirm that they and the surviving veterans are not forgotten. Rather, you are respected, thanked, and cherished with all our hearts and for all time.
In a tribute recorded on Horse Guards Parade and broadcast by the BBC Tonight, images of veterans, including the Duke of Edinburgh. He was aboard a warship in Tokyo Bay when the Second World War ended. His grandson spoke of the need to cherish peace.
We must not forget our responsibility to learn the lessons of the past and ensure that the horrors of the Second World War are never repeated. We owe that to our veterans, to their families, and to the generations who will come after us.
75 years on, thanks were given for the moment a world war ended. Nicholas Witch.